event on the web?
Well, I think a lot of what's happening with social networks is really what I think of as the socialization of the web. And if you think about Web 1.0 and what we experienced with the first wave of big internet companies, it was a lot of making information available that just simply wasn't accessible to a lot of people. What I think this next, what Web 2.0 has really been about is about making those experiences social and being able to experience those things with other people in a much, much richer way. And it started with things like, social networking has been around for a long time. I was part of a company in 1996 called Planet All that was all about connecting you with people that you knew and keeping you in touch with your friends. You know, Six Degrees has been out there. These companies have been out there for a long time. But this next generation of users, and it started a lot with initially Friendster, then Friendster failed and MySpace came and was a fast follower and executed extremely well. And then Facebook came into the college space and enabled college students to really just increase their connection to other people through these technology productivity tools. That is now starting to permeate everything that we're doing on the web. Gaming is, I think, one of the more interesting areas where we've seen that happen, as Byron points out. You know, over half of the users that are members of Facebook are also members of Farmville. It's a massive community of people that are there interacting through those games. And there's a lot of social currency, there's a lot of communication, there's a lot of interaction that's happening. And I think it comes down to that basic desire that we have as humans to be social and to socialize with other people. So if you can take everything from a gaming experience and go from your one-on-one interaction with the console to being able to interact with a lot of people, you can then think about doing that in shopping. People are doing that a lot in shopping now. There's a lot of really hot startups, you know, Gilt Group and Groupon and a lot of these companies who are letting you shop with other people, which is oftentimes an activity that we do in the real world. Even things as basic as a Yellow Pages experience, where when I go to Yelp now, I can actually go and get recommendations and get feedback from other people that I may have connections with or even not have connections with. And it just makes it a much, much richer experience. It's almost like bringing these activities that we have and that we engage in offline, online through these more social environments. And I think that's the big movement that's happening. And I think it's going to permeate everything on the internet. I think it's the way that we want to experience things. I go to music rock concerts because I want to experience that with other people. I go to movies to experience that with other people. And I think that's a lot of what's happening with social networking on the web today.
And one aspect of that was one study group right across the street from us here that looked at some of the early innovations of, you know, emails impacts and Usenet discussion threads had found things like, well, the intensity of interaction with friends and close friends had fallen somewhat, but the reach and the expansiveness and the diversity of people that you were contacted with was higher. And was that a negative? You know, were you getting more shallow connections and fewer deep connections? What have you seen in the last couple of years with Facebook and MySpace and that setup?
Well, how many people use Facebook here? I mean, a lot of people. Facebook's starting to become something we all use, and it's, you know, my personal experience with it, and certainly what I saw. I was employee 26 at Facebook, and I worked at MySpace. Was it really is this innovation in technology that increases productivity and our ability to connect with people. My personal experience is I'm in contact now with a lot of people from high school that I just had lost touch with, that I was unlikely to regain connections with, except for in very specific instances. In business, I find that I can oftentimes make an acquaintance that can turn into a much deeper relationship because I have this technology productivity tool that allows me to be in communication much better. When you speak to my father, I share a heck of a lot more photos of his grandkids with him because these tools exist on the web today than I ever did when it was just plain pictures or when I had to email large files around the web, which just was not as friendly a user experience. And so I think while it may increase the number of relationships you have that aren't necessarily as deep, I think it's overall incredibly additive, and that's why you're seeing literally half of all users on the internet have a Facebook account, and Facebook rapidly becoming the #1 activity for people on the web, certainly in terms of page views and engagement.
One of my